Greetings YouTube! Activision Blizzard has posted almost $2 billion worth of profit for 2018. It's actually 1.98 billion, I believe. And it's a record. They've never made so much and that's profit, by the way. It's after the deductions. In 2017, the year previously, it was $1.3 billion. So $2 billion. You would imagine that Activision Blizzard, you know, the executives, the employees, the shareholders and everybody would be massively thrilled at hitting that benchmark. Yeah, not so much. Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick has told investors that the publisher hasn't grown at the rates that reflect the opportunities our industry afford. They're actually disappointed with $2 billion worth of profit. Profit. It's like they've set the bar so high. It's not even actually in the atmosphere anymore. You actually have to get a telescope out to see it. It's near the moon presently, is that bar. They've been raising the bar so much year on year, and all the major publishers have been doing this. It's not just Activision Blizzard. But the bar is so high now that they can't actually hit it anymore. And this is the same problem that I was talking about in my last video with EA, of course, that they just can't hit the targets that they've promised the investors. And if you don't hit that target, no matter it's a record-breaking year, no, you didn't hit the bar, so you failed. You failed. You're a disappointment. Anyway, the main news to come out of this is not only did he announce record profits to the investors, but get this, in the same breath, well maybe not the same breath, but in the same call to the investors, he announced that 8% of the workforce is going to be laid off in their best ever year. Last year they had about 9,600 employees. And at 8% to be laid off, it's about 800 people. But damn! The workers' rights group Game Workers Unite have called, unsurprisingly, for the CEO Bobby Kotick to be fired. Hashtag fire Bobby Kotick. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing his surname right. I'm presuming I am. Actually, I don't care if I'm pronouncing his name wrong thinking about it. But they've said in a statement, upending 800 workers' lives while raking in millions in bonuses for you and your C-suite buddies isn't leadership, it's theft. We, the workers of Activision and their friends, have had enough. Join us in saying that it's time to hashtag fire Bobby Kotick. It's worth mentioning at this point that Bobby Kotick apparently takes home an annual salary of $30 million. And apparently Activision Blizzard have also offered the newly appointed CFO Dennis Durkin an extra $15 million in cash and shares. So understandably, the workers are pretty fucking pissed off. One Blizzard employee told Kotaku, and quote, a lot more cuts than we were expecting. So they knew that this was coming, they just didn't expect the sheer bloody-minded scale of it. Never mind the coldness. I mean, announcing record $2 billion profit, oh by the way, we're going to lay off 8% of you as well. Thanks. Another quote from another Blizzard employee, the look on people's faces as they're pulling in through the gates is just awful. This is the fucking worst. Yeah, it is. Some have pointed out that there are good reasons for the layoffs. That may be, but it doesn't, it doesn't excuse the shitty way in which it was done. I mean, 8%, 800 people is a lot, and now all of those people are going to have to compete for jobs out in the marketplace. Some people have also claimed that somehow Fortnite is to blame for all this mess, all the big companies, they're losing money, Fortnite is raking money in, so they must be to blame. That is just like my EA video, it's just a fucking excuse. It's just so they don't have to take responsibility for their shitty decisions. That's all this is. EA and DICE brought out Battlefield 5, and were surprised when a lot of people, including myself, didn't like it when we discovered that basically half the game was missing and that it was going to be spoon-fed back to us with a teaspoon or one of those really tiny spoons that's like a quarter of the size of a teaspoon. I don't know what they're called. I know they exist. The reason that argument doesn't cut any ice with me is simple. Fortnite is a free-to-play game. It's Battle Royale, and you wanted your own Battle Royale game because Battle Royale is the in thing. It's successful. We've got to do Battle Royale. We've got to do what's popular, because if we don't chase what's popular, we're doomed. Not how it works. EA actually tried to blame Battlefield 5's failure on its lack of Battle Royale. That wouldn't have helped because there was a shitload missing from that game. I don't know why they were trying to compete with Fortnite anyway, because as I say, Fortnite is a free-to-play game. Battlefield 5 cost 50, or was it 55 quid at release? You know what, I don't care, it's a full-price game. They're not comparable. If you are given the opportunity to play Battle Royale for 50 quid, or Battle Royale for nothing, what are you going to pick? It was never going to work. Activision Blizzard tried the same thing with Call of Duty. It put Battle Royale in its game, but I mean, again, it's the same problem. Would you rather pay 50 quid for it, or would you rather pay nothing for it? Duh! Of course, it's worth pointing out at this moment in time that even though those Battle Royale wannabes that EA and Activision put out, trying to compete with Fortnite because we've got to compete with Fortnite, didn't work, EA has sort of rebounded recently thanks to Apex Legends, a game which I haven't played yet and I'm going to have to get round to playing it at some point. It's free to play. It's not a full price game. It's free. Free. I don't know why I just rolled the R in free, I just felt like it. But you don't pay anything for it. Suddenly, Apex Legends is at the top of the Twitch streaming charts. Apparently it's streaming, it has more people watching it than Fortnite. 3 times as much, apparently. I mean, it's almost as if a free-to-play game competes with a free-to-play game. The very idea. But this is the crucial bit. It's not Fortnite's fault, it's their fault. It's their fault for trying to compete with Fortnite. It's not Fortnite that defeated them. Fortnite was just off doing its own thing over there in the bubble. It's a free-to-play game, nothing to do with these full-price guys. The full-price guys tried to copy them, and duh, it didn't work. You have only yourselves to blame. Take some fucking responsibility for once. Don't try to bullshit us with arguments about, oh, well, it's Fortnite. Oh, well, we didn't include Battle Royale. Oh, this and that, and things just didn't quite work out and whatnot. Bollocks. It's your fault. I was so thrilled when Activision and Bungie, and yes, I know Bungie is a different company, but I was thrilled when they split up. Because they were never really the most comfortable of bedfellows, were they? Because let's be honest, the original Destiny sold on Bungie's name alone. And I dare say that Activision was looking forward to everyone playing it and getting involved and buying the microtransactions. Problem is, Activision tends to release a game a year. Call of Duty, apparently they haven't missed a single year since 2004. Whoa! But Bungie tends to release a game when it's ready. Insofar as Activision and Blizzard were concerned, Activision was trying to push Blizzard into spending less but doing more. You know, that typical company/government thing they think is clever. And just like Bungie, Blizzard hadn't released a new game in a while. But even so, this was still a shit way to announce this. They could have been nicer about it at the very least. I don't know. I'm kind of rambling at this point because I still can't believe that they did this. That they announced record profit and then fired 8% of the workforce. I have sympathy for the workers, but Activision Blizzard as a corporate entity, I don't give a flying shit in a thunderstorm, to be frank. After forming all these connections with the other companies, Activision seems to be retreating now. It saw it as an excellent investment at the time. I remember when they announced that the original Destiny would be a 10-year plan, and I don't know how long it lasted because I never had an interest in it, but how long did it last? 4 or 5 years? They definitely stopped it short though, and now they're retreating massively because they've overcommitted. They've raised the bar so high and they've realised they can no longer hit it, that they've got to start cutting all these things away from them, get rid of the loss-making stuff. How dare they? So yeah, my sympathies and best of luck to the fired workers, and fuck Activision.